Hi everybody, it's another Woolly Wednesday. Thanks for joining me. Today I am going to introduce you to my new wool threads. I've been dyeing wool thread for, I don't know how long it's been. Since YLI introduced their wool thread, I started over dyeing it. And we have it now in about 30 colors. And now I am doing some of the thicker thread. So the size that I have been doing for quite a while is number 15, and it's the size, and it's just a lovely weight for doing wool applique. And now, I don't know if you can see the difference in size. This is the size 8, which is almost twice as thick. So later, we're going to do a close-up demo so you can see really the size difference and how thick it is. Hi, Donna. Thanks for joining me today. So I'm going to show you that thread, and we're going to do some stitching with it. And we are going to do a demonstration with the YLI cotton braid. That is this product, and we're using it on our Forest Flora project. This cotton braid, if you haven't seen it before, is made of 12 threads braided together. It's super cool, and I'll show you how to use that. Also, let's get to our coupon codes. So, you know, we always have coupon codes on Woolly Wednesday. So the first one is, to back up a little bit so you can see my fish pillow. This is my crappie. He's a lovely little fish. Anyway, the pattern comes with, put it somewhere. The pattern comes with 4 fish. So this is our kind of fishy pattern. There's 4 fish. And when I turn the camera around later, you're going to get a peek at that. And then this, you can get the kit. You can get the kit for the whole quilt. It's just a small wall hanging. I think it's 48 by 48. Or you can get the kit for the pillow. Or you can just get the pattern. So all 3 of those are on sale this month if you use the coupon code May 20, I think. Excuse me, I hate to step away, but yeah, May 20 is the coupon code to get either, is he upside down? We don't want him upside down. To get the kit or the pattern for the kind of fishy. He's super cute. It's the only way really to get this great fish fabric, and I only have 10 kits left, and when they're gone because I can't get any more of this fish fabric. So until I find some more of that, 10 kits is all we got. Okay, so that's that coupon code. The other one is kind of funny. Today is National Fruit Cocktail Day. Did you know that? I didn't know that either. I just looked it up to see if there was some special day today. So for today only, because you're watching this, you get to use the Fruit 25 coupon code on the online store today only for anything. So site-wide, every product, you can get 25% off with Fruit 25. Okay. Your bonus for watching. May 20 for the fish, but today use the Fruit 25 and you can get that on the fish also. I have one more. Here we go. I showed you last week my overdyed textures, the plaids and herringbones, and they're on sale all month. So still to the end of May, you can use Text 25. So today, either use the Fruit 25 for everything, but after that, you can use Text 25 till the end of the month and get 25% off the overdyed fat 8s in the patterns. Okay, coupon codes. We're going to do our drawing today. Everybody, if you're watching, comment, or share the video, or if you make a purchase today, all of those things get you the chance to get in on the drawing. And the drawing, because it's Fruit Cobbler Day, is going to be a kit to make our fruit pincushions. So there's 4 pincushions in the pattern, and the kit gives you everything you need to make all 4 of them. So you have this apple. It's full-size apple. And a lime. Isn't that cute? And a plum, and a little pear. So you can get all 4 of those in a kit if you win the drawing. All right, now moving on. Enough of the coupon codes. But show you, I've been working on this. We started this last week, if you remember. I'm going to say hi to Suzanne and Nancy and Kim. Thank you. I think the pincushions are pretty cute too. Thanks for watching. So this is our Forest Flora project that we're doing this month. And I've been working on the leaves. Give you some close up here. And today we're going to do this one that's naked. So I'm going to show you this couching with the braid. Get that in there so it's in focus. You see that? And the stitching we did along the edge is the coral stitch. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. You guys excited? Yeah, of course. What else are you going to do on a rainy day? All right, I am going to try to flip this camera around so we can get close up in the demo, because it's really hard. When I watch, after trying to do a demo, I watch the tape and I don't know how you guys can see anything. So I'm going to do a little close up. You didn't need to see me this close up though, did you? We'll do a close up of the demo if it works. And then maybe you can see what we're doing better, and you can watch it again later, whatever. Okay, so I am going to flip this around and see if that works. Okay, there you can see the kind of fishy quilt, and oh, and that's my pole dancing quilt next to it. All right. Here on the table we have those threads I was telling you about. If I can get in here so that I can show you closer. This is the, get it in here, you can see. This is the size 15 thread that I've been dyeing for several years. And this is the size 8. So you can see the weight difference. And at first I couldn't come up with any reason to use it. I was apprehensive about even trying it, about dyeing it. Oh, but for this project I got the perfect reason, and it's really great. I really like it. So for now I have only done it in these colors. We have it in the forest and evening, which is a variegation with 3 different dark grays. And this is our dark earth, which is 3 different browns. This is totally teal, which variegates between aqua, Caribbean blue, and a teal. And then this is corn silk, which is our more muted, warmer yellow and gold. Meadow. This is evening. Light earth. Earth day. What is this? Man, brain freeze. Huh, Tuscany. Tuscany and Orange Grove. So far, those are the colors that I have dyed this fat thread in, but now that I love it, I'm going to be doing more. So they're not on the website right now, but I'm going to do it. I'll get them on there today so that you can get those ordered. If I don't have it on by the time you want to use today's discount code, let me know. I'll fix that. These are the needles that you might want to get for this thicker thread. So normally I use the size 18 chenille needle for most of my stitching for the size 15 thread. This package has 20, 22, and 24. So you get the larger eyes so that you can also, you can get this fatter thread in the needle. So we have these on the website too. Okay, there's those threads. Move in our other stuff here. Okay, so for this leaf, where we have this darker green braid that's been ruched, for that one I used this green. It's called Green. It's such a creative name. But you can see it's variegated, and then how pretty it ends up after you ruche it. And then I stitched it down with my forest thread. Don't those go nicely together? I thought so. This leaf here, I used this one. It's called Green to Tan. Hi, Denise. Nice to see you. Suzanne, what kind of needle do I use? Where'd they go? What's under here? Okay, so this is the John James chenille. Any chenille needle is going to work. I hope you asked this question after, whatever. The questions pop up a little delayed. So the chenille, I use the size 18, which is the smaller one for most of my stitching. It even works for a pearl cotton, but the next size up in this pack is a 20. It's a little easier to thread a pearl cotton in there, and I'll use that same 20 or the 22 for my thicker wool thread. So always a chenille needle, because the needle is sharp, so it's easy to penetrate your stitching, and it has a larger eye, so you can get a bulkier thread in there. Okay, so back to our woolie braid. I don't know if you can see close up. We'll get it to focus close up. There's a whole bunch of threads braided together there. Let's see if we do that. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. But I want to pull one apart and show it to you. So I use that here. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but I really like it. So to get started with that, you're going to cut a piece that is 2.5 to 3 times the length. Oh, okay, good. I was just reading Suzanne's comment. 2.5 to 3 times the length of the area that you're going to apply it to. So I just measured like this, 1, 2, 2.5 about. It doesn't have to be any exact number. It depends on how tightly you want to ruche it. You could even make it looser and use less thread and have be kind of a zigzag. All right, so now the edge, after I cut my piece, you can see the edge of it is starting to fray a little bit, and that's okay on one piece because we're going to pull it apart. But on the other end, I don't want it to fray. It just makes it a little harder to work with. So I put a little dot of fray check on there. Okay, so this is fray check. If you guys don't know what that is, it's great to put on anything that's going to be ravelly. But if you don't have any fray check, you can just use glue. You can use Elmer's glue. I tried this school glue gel that I had. That worked. Even Elmer's white glue works because it dries clear. All right, so I'm going to take the edge where I used that fray check, and I'm just going to tuck it under a little bit. Okay. And I bet, I should try it, but I bet you wouldn't even need to do that because it's been fray checked. And I'm going to stick a little pin in there just to hold it in place. I'm going to get out my needle and thread. Here, I'm using, I showed you before, my Earth Day wool thread. It's variegated in just about the same colors as that YLI braid. Let's see if I can get in here. And I'm just going to tack it down at the beginning. Doesn't really take too many stitches. I just take a couple around here. All right, just a couple stitches to get us started, and then I'm going to come back up with my needle kind of in the middle. Turn this around so you can see. Now I need to find my end. Okay. I'm going to take the end and kind of separate it. It gets all fray. And I'm just going to grab one of those threads kind of in the middle. See? Just like that. I'm just going to pull one out. And then you can see as I pull it, it just kind of gets all scrunched up. Isn't that cool? I'm just kind of going to gather it down the line. And now I said you could just leave it in a zigzag pattern. So you could just leave it like something like that and stitch that down. But for this project, I'm doing a little more. All right, now to see the texture best, if you kind of keep it flat. There, you could see it wants to twist pretty easily. There, we'll just kind of bunch it all up, get it how we want it. You see that I get kind of a mess down at the bottom because we've pulled that thread, but we're just going to tuck those under later and stitch them down. I had a thought last night while I was stitching that if I didn't stitch down the bottom of my leaf right down here, if I left that open, I could probably tuck some of that braid just right underneath my applique too. I'm going to try that next. All right, so isn't that pretty? Now all we have to do, I'm going to pull up my thread. Oops, sorry about that. I hope nobody gets seasick. Bumped the camera. It's kind of hard to work with the camera in front of you like this. All right, just want to make sure you can see what I'm doing. Now, I'm going to take one more stitch. Just because I didn't pay enough attention as to the color of my thread, and I really see how it's lighter there. If I keep pulling, I'm going to be stitching light on the dark. So I should have selected my thread better. So I'm going to back it up to there. I do sell this cotton braid. Yes. So then I'm just kind of baste it down. Doesn't really take a lot of stitching down. I guess depending on the application. If you were going to put it on something that's going to get handled a lot, move that pin out of the way. There, see, it's just this big stitch, baste it down. If you went one direction and didn't think that was basted enough, you could always come back the other way. This cotton braid from YLI is made in South Carolina. So it's hand dyed, and then they have some fancy antique braiding machine that they pulled out of the basement or something and started making this cool stuff. Now, even though my thread is still brown and I'm in this green section, it doesn't really show up very much. And I'm going to be okay with that. All right. Pretty cool, huh? Now I am into light, very light. And I don't really want the brown thread there, so I'm going to tie this off. Let's tie a little knot back here. And here, I'll come back later and tie that off. I'm just going to pull my thread through the other way. Here, tie the knot. Oops, sorry. Down here in the light section, and then we can stitch with that. I'm going to come down here and show you what I do to finish the end, though. Put a pin here. I can do this later. Isn't that how this... Sorry, sometimes it gets off the screen, doesn't it? Oh well, it's kind of a rinky-dink operation over here. No, I can't thread my needle. Because you know why? This is not a chenille needle. It would have a bigger eye. That would have been easier. I don't even know what this is. Okay, we got it's threaded again. And we'll just take another stitch down here. That needle, pin out of there. So again, like at the beginning, how I tucked it under. So this one really came apart. I don't think I've ever had one come apart that much before. But I'm just going to give it a little tuck under again with my pen. Then, if I can stitch around this tripod that's hanging here between my armpits. There, could you see? I just kind of tuck them in there and take a couple stitches. And this thread hanging out here, that is the thread I pulled to do the ruching. We don't need that anymore, so we just cut it away. Okay, so this is looking kind of messy because it's kind of awkward to do this like this. But I think you can get the idea. Just kind of tuck those in there. Sorry. Take some stitches. Now I'll come back and fix that later because that's just a hot mess. And it's just kind of hard to do it like this. But I think you guys get the idea of how you can just gather that up. Next week, I am going to show you how to do it around the circles. So I think I'm going to practice that with the camera in front of me like this, my arms wrapped around it. It's pretty funny. But I'm the only one here to laugh at me. So there. Now, because this, I don't know, this is not so good. Got kind of messed up. But because I haven't stitched all this down, I can always kind of alter it a bit. But when I'm not stitching with the camera between my arms, they turn out a little better. Okay, enough of that. I'm going to show you how to do a coral stitch. Here, you can see here, I did it. Let's see how close I can get. I did it on the edge of this one with my fatter thread. I did it over here with the thinner thread and didn't turn out as great. So I'm going to redo those with this thick stuff. Isn't that fun? So this is the one, the meadow, in the size 8. I usually use a pretty long piece of thread, but I found that I need a little bit shorter one. You know, it's maybe about 12 inches is all I use. I have one already in the, because it twists a little bit when you're doing this stitch. So for this stitch anyway, a little shorter thread. This is so easy and it looks pretty cool. All right, get this how I can hold it. So the light is on it and you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we'll just start here so you can get it, you can see what's going on. And just like any old edge stitch, I'm going to come up right on the edge. Okay, pull it through. And then I'm going to, here I did a little whip stitch down to tack my pieces in place. So I'm just going to take this little stitch right on that whip stitch. Okay, and come in 1/8 of an inch or so. And then I'm going to take my thread and it gets wrapped around and underneath and pull it through and it makes a little knot right on the edge. So then you just go to take your next stitch like you were doing blanket stitch, go stitch down and come back up 1/8 of an inch or a little more. See? And your thread here gets wrapped around like this. It goes on top of the needle and then around underneath the needle. Okay? And then pull your thread through. And as you're pulling your thread through, you see how it wraps around there and makes a little knot right on the edge. There. Start your stitch, thread over the top and around the needle, and then pull it through to make a knot. This is one of those times, if you're going to do a decorative edge stitch, there's no sense in blanket stitching. It just takes too much time. So doing that whip stitch on the edge saves you a lot of time. There. Okay. How's that look? Take one more. About out of time. I hate to go more than a half an hour. Just seems to get too long and monotonous and boring, especially when maybe you can't really see what I'm doing. Okay, thread over the top and around, do it with this hand, over the top and around underneath, behind the needle, and then pull it. And then you're just gonna go all the way around with that and tie it off at the end just like normal. Okay, so next week we're going to work on these circles, and I will show you how to do this same ruching technique with the YLI braid around the circles. We did a little demo of that last week too. I don't know where that is now, but also since I have the camera set up like this and you can see closer up, I kind of showed you my hat last week. I used this ruching braid to do this, to decorate this hat. So now I can kind of show you closer up. This was a lot of thread. I used practically a whole package. But you can do some really fun stuff with it. I just kind of wadded it up into a little flower shape there. Made little petals. Yeah, isn't that cute? All right, so I guess that's all for today. And don't forget our coupon codes. So May 20th to get 20% off our kind of fishy patterns. Fruit 25 to use all day today to get 25% off site-wide. Turn you around. You see my ceiling. There I am. Okay, everybody, thanks for coming, and I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed my little video. So we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.